right, everybody?
Hey guys.
You guys ready to start?
Yeah.
All right, so thank you guys for coming to our third workshop. Today we're going to be working on SWOT analysis, and we're going to have Professor Blumen go through how you can do that for your company and different ideas. And go ahead and take it away.
Boy, my classes don't clap for me. They just beg to go outside. All right. So, what are the different parts of your companies? Donut shop. I remember that you're donut shop because I am clairvoyant. All right, donut shop. What are the different parts?
Well, there's the clothing aspect of it, the t-shirts, hats,
Right.
sweatshirts.
And then the part where we include our community, we include the artists and their work.
Okay.
And then, so I mean, we also want to do like skateboard gear and kind of be in the skateboard culture.
Right.
Part of the skateboard culture.
So eventually you'll do that.
Yeah.
So but right now those T-shirts come from where?
Yeah. So right now we just
Where do
do
they
like
come from?
they come from. I mean, right now what I'm doing is I kind of just order them separately and then give them to somebody I know who prints them for us.
So you got a vendor who provides the shirts, and then you give it to somebody else who prints it, right? So that's a little production piece of that, right? Okay. And how do you market your business, Stephen?
Through word of mouth mainly.
Right. So you got the marketing and it's word of mouth, right? Do you ever plan on doing something different?
As of right now, this is working out fine, but when I go to schools, like let's say I have Clarksburg High School, which I do, I'll go to an invitational. All 27 MCPS schools will be there. The coaches talk to their coaches.
So you're going to have
Pretty much
other
word of
kinds of ways of getting that marketing out there. Right. Okay. And I forgot your name?
Natalie.
Natalie, thank you. Your aprons, right?
Mhm.
So where do the designs come from?
I guess me, yeah, or
Right.
what I find.
So there's the whole design aspect of this,
design,
right?
manufacturing.
Manufacturing, right?
Yeah.
And then what do you do with them?
You have to sell them.
Okay, so you got the selling aspect. So this is SWOT analysis, and SWOT analysis stands for what?
Weaknesses, opportunities.
I'm not even bother writing out there. Okay, good. Yeah, you got it. So strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to your organization, right? So we're going to look at your company as a whole first. Okay.
Perspective.
Okay, so we're going to look at the company as a whole first, right? All right, so we're going to look at a particular company. This is a project that Riley did quite a while ago, actually,
Yeah.
when he was a newbie business student.
Yeah. So I had Professor Blumen for Intro to Business my first semester last year. Highly recommend taking her if you ever have the chance. Great professor.
I didn't tell him to say that.
So it was a group project, and our company was Patagonia, and part of this was to do a SWOT analysis. So for SWOT analysis, you kind of have the internal analysis and then the external. So the internal is going to be your strengths and weaknesses, and the external is going to be the opportunities and threats facing your company. So for Patagonia, we did some research, and we found out that its main strengths was its environmental focus. It gave a lot back. It had ties with grassroots companies, and it was a big part of why they're so successful. Brand recognition, the quality of their products over the quantity, they really focused on that. Social responsibility, they were highly rated in that area, and then low employee turnover rates. They had a good corporate culture. And some of their weaknesses was that they had high prices. So again, that quality is going to come with the high prices, but it's going to turn away a large part of their market. They had less than 60 stores worldwide, so they were mostly focused on online sales. And they did still have an environmental impact through their production. Every company is going to have one. They try to minimize it as much as they could, but it was still there. So it is still a weakness. So all of that is worth noting. As far as opportunities, again, the increase in online trade. So sometimes strength and weaknesses can be kind of close depending on the situation. So trade agreements, they had a lot of technology. They tried to grasp it and increase an awareness for the environment. They could kind of use that to promote their products. And then an increased emphasis on outdoor activities and good health, same kind of thing. Threats facing their companies, competitors. There's huge competitors in their industry, such as North Face, Columbia, REI, etc. In the economy, good was sometimes bad. So even after the recession, when most industries and big businesses were shrinking or getting hurt, Patagonia actually increased in revenue from like 2008 to 2009, and after that, because if you think about it, instead of going on like vacation to different countries or whatever, some people are just going to go to their local Patagonia or REI, get some climbing equipment, and have a vacation near home. So it's kind of depressing, but the bad economy was actually kind of good for them. So a good economy could be bad. It kind of depends. Then also, as for any fashion company, it's going to be a shift in fashion or style could hurt them, and it could be a threat. So yeah, that's a SWOT analysis on Patagonia.
Cool. So, you guys get this? Yeah? And when we look at opportunities, those, as Riley said, are in our environment. So, one of the greatest opportunities that they have is that people are more conscious of their good health. They're more conscious of the environment, right? So, that's an opportunity that they can capitalize on in certain ways. Yeah? So, what is a SWOT used for? This is nice. This is pretty. You can make one for your company too. But what is it used for? It's used to figure out, sometimes it's used to create goals, because now out of here we have some goals that we may want to address those weaknesses. It's also used to reach goals. And to reach goals, we've got to analyze ourselves and how we're going to reach them, right? So this is the way it works. So I have lots of prompts for human. Okay, so we need a volunteer who's strong, not Autumn. We already tried her. Volunteer who's strong?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, Stephen. Strong enough. Okay, all right. So, can you get that? Can you turn that off for a second? Yeah. Okay. You. Yeah, you do. Well, if you were there. Okay. So, here's our goal. Yeah. And let's see, who's on which side? Which one are you?
Weakness.
Oh, right. We decided that. Okay. So, come here. So Riley is the weaknesses and the threats, right? The stuff that's going to prevent you from reaching your goals. And Stephen on this side, or that way, is what? The strengths and opportunities that are going to help reach those goals, right? So go ahead, you guys just put your hands up to each other, and you're gonna try and push him. No, you're the weakness and threat.
Oh, so I'm like
you're
this?
there.
Oh, he's trying to get me to
He's
the
trying
goal.
to move
I
you
get
the
you.
heck, right? So
This ain't
how
fair.
is why isn't that fair?
My man's built.
You know what you were getting into. Come on. Okay, so here we have the strengths and opportunities, right? Trying to reach the goal. What has to happen for him to reach the goal?
Overcome the weaknesses.
He's got to overcome those weaknesses. So what happens to overcome the weaknesses? What does he have to do?
Capitalize on the strength.
Capitalize on those strengths and opportunities. He's got to bolster them, make them even stronger. And what do we have to do to these guys? Weaknesses and threats. Go ahead. Go ahead. Try and see if you can do
Get rid of
I
it.
just pushed my man all the way back.
It's so easy. Oh, you were so
Even this close.
easy. Okay, so we want to overcome the weaknesses, threats, but we can't always do that, can we? No. So we just need to minimize them in some way if we can't get them out of the way, right? You're right, Miss Bill. Oh, wow. Okay, so you get the idea. So you have strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats in your companies, right? So what are the categories of those strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats? That's that other sheet that you were given right here. Okay, you have strengths such as maybe knowledge, of our community. You have strengths such as design ability, right? You have weaknesses. What are some weaknesses? Maybe in production, cash, maybe lack of cash. So these are the different categories. Financial, you might have human resources, research, production, marketing, management, could be any of these. So we look at the company as a whole, or you can look at it from a different perspective. I think, in thinking about this, you probably want to look at it from a whole first. Why this becomes so important is when you do this in front of the judges, they're going to be thinking in terms of SWOT as well. So they're actually going to be looking for those holes. They're going to be looking for the weaknesses. They're going to be looking for things that are similar to what it is you're doing. They may know about things that are similar, and they're going to ask you about that stuff in really nice ways, of course. But they are going to be looking at that. So, questions, thoughts, comments? Yes, please.
So,
And name again?
Andre.
Andre.
Yes.
Okay, I remember bicycles.
So, what would be the difference between analyzing the company as a whole and then by parts?
Okay, so we can look at it from different perspectives. So let's say we create a goal of having a sales revenue of what? What would you like the first year? Well, you guys are ready to start. First year, realistic. 50,000. Well, Brian will talk to you about realism and not finance, right? Okay. So 50,000 goal of a revenue, $50,000. So you could look at it from that being the goal, right? That's the perspective. Out here, Autumn. Come on. Come on. Okay.
Financial
So-
perspective.
Right. Okay, so you're just targeting from that perspective. What are my strengths for reaching that revenue goal? What are my weaknesses? What are my opportunities that I have to reach that goal? What are my threats? Okay. You can also, for bigger companies like Patagonia, for instance, they might also do a SWOT analysis on a particular department. So as you grow your business, right, you may want to do a SWOT analysis. You might do a SWOT analysis on the community. Good. Okay. And small businesses love this tool because it is so realistic and it helps them in their planning process. So when I used to consult with small businesses, they would just keep this stuff up. Yeah. More questions? Yeah.
So,
Please, Henry.
so if, like, for example, you have a goal for like a department, I guess, and then
Mm-hmm.
versus your whole business, could a goal potentially be like not as I guess profitable in a sense when you look at it towards a whole as like a whole company?
Right. It may not be. So let's think about marketing. And Professor Carlton will talk to you about that. You may be losing some money in your marketing efforts, right? It may not be profitable at all, but that's an important goal that's going to help you reach your ultimate goal. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah, that's
Okay, good. So, what would be most helpful to look at your companies as a whole? What do you think?
a whole. I guess like because I feel like when you look at a company as a whole, it's kind of like the ultimate goal in the long run versus in the short run.
Good. Okay. And you know, I realize out of this too, when we think about making goals, this might be important to know. We've got to follow the SMART goal setting method. So let's just put that on the board for a second. So SMART. When you set your goal, what might be one of your goals? Anyone? Somebody who hasn't spoken? A goal?
Not get into legal issues.
Not getting into legal. So that's kind of like a negative goal. How about protecting yourself legally? Right. Okay. That didn't work.
Well, like some of the people in here that want to do an app, like 50,000 downloads or something like that.
Okay. All right. 50,000 app downloads within what? 1 year?
Yeah.
1 year. What's your major?
Communications.
You should be business. I noticed that last time too. Okay. Okay, so specific, we got measurable,
Life change.
we got action oriented. Is the way I like to do it. It's gotta be realistic. And it's gotta be time related. So does this goal that you just said meet those requirements when we make that goal?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does really nicely. Now for your legal one, Professor Weiser's gonna help you with that one because I am clueless. But I know that it's a negative one and we wanna put it in the positive. So maybe it's by $100,000 protection from lawsuits.
Zero lawsuits by 2020.
0 lawsuits by 2020. How am I going to achieve that? Yes, that'll help. That's good. That's good. Okay, so when you think about your goals, you want to think in these terms. So let's do a SWOT analysis as a whole in the company. Be very, very honest about this because this is what's going to help you prepare for the judges. Yeah? And we'll help you with it. We'll come around and help. More questions? No? Crystal clear? Despite the heat? Oh, there we go. Professor Watson, yes.
Can I have something that's a strength and also a weakness?
Yes, and Riley showed that with Patagonia. One of their greatest strengths is environmental focus. But their weakness is because they market that and they're so clear on that's it's so important to them, they can be caught because they're not perfectly environmentally clean. They still pollute the environment. So one of the things they did for that, if I remember correctly, is they actually did a 1% planet tax, which they take 1% of the net sales and they put this in an environmental fund. So they recognize and they're very transparent, very clear to everyone in the public about what it is that they're doing and why they're doing it. So there's no surprises. They're not caught in the news in a bad publicity thing. Yeah.
Should I do my SWOT analysis based on how my business is right now,
Yes.
or my idea of where it's going to start, or where I'm
this-
thinking about it 2 years from now?
What you think about it right now? So this is what, Brian, a balance sheet? Snapshot of what currently is? See, you have taught me something. Okay, so it's a balance sheet. It's right exactly what it is right now. Where are you right now? Because that's what the judges are looking at right now. They're not looking at your dreams necessarily. Okay, they're looking at where you are now and are you positioned to achieve those dreams? That's what they're concerned about. Yeah? Good questions, thank you. No, what is this with the professors? What? Professor Pig.
How does your strategy tie into your assessment of your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats?
Your strategy comes out of that. So again, it depends on your perspective. So okay. If you look at a SWOT on your whole company, you're going to say, oh, I have this great opportunity. I need something that's I need a goal. I need to set a goal, a smart goal, to take advantage of that opportunity. Thus, that starts to build your business strategy. Make sense? Good. Any other great questions from the panel in the back? This is
Remember
good.
issues from prior years?
Can I just keep you in the classroom? That'd be great.
How often would you do like a SWOT analysis within like your company? Or
As often as you like. Most of my small business clients would do it at least in one strategy session a year, but it didn't mean that they didn't follow up on the goals that came out of it.
Okay.
Right? So, but they would take a breather, step back,